Hello everyone, how's it going? I'm WoWcrendor, and welcome to the final Knights of the Frozen Throne card review, reveal, whatever you want to call it. Either way, all the cards are out now. The expansion is coming out on Thursday, I believe? Thursday, yes. And now I can go ahead and review all the cards based on their fun levels. So again, this is based strictly on fun, doing dumb gimmicky things with the cards, not whether it's good in the meta, or for, because I mean there's a bunch of people you can watch for that, but that's not how I play Hearthstone. I play for the dumb things, the fun gimmicks, and for example, when I did a few expansions ago, the Koldara Drake, where I just tried to get Koldara Drake so I could do my hero power over and over and automatically win. That was the most fun I had that expansion. So that's pretty much what I'm looking for, those types of things, with this expansion. And from what I've seen, I think there's going to be a lot of potential. So let's start out with the Snow Fury Giant, 11 mana, 8/8, costs 1 less for each mana crystal you've overloaded this game. So another addition to the Giant deck. You can make a deck full of Giants now. I've already done it, but you can you can do it with Shaman. So that's interesting. Pretty nice to have a giant for the shamans. Seems pretty cool. Next up, we have Blood Reaver Gul'dan. So if you don't know about the Death Knight hero classes, every hero gets a Death Knight class card thing, and when you play it, you become Death Knight whoever. So Blood Reaver Gul'dan, for example, instead of normal Gul'dan. And when you play him, it takes 10 mana, gets 5 armor, summon all friendly demons that died this game. That's pretty cool. I think that is one of the best things Warlocks could have gotten for wanting to play like a discard deck or something like that. Because I've been wanting to play a discard deck ever since I made a discard deck and played it and was like, wow, this is pretty fun. And there's so many discard cards that they've added into the game for Warlocks now at this expansion, and imagine just doing that and then playing Blood Reaver Gul'dan. You bring back a bunch of those discarded demons, and bam, you got a board full of demons. You got Blood Reaver Gul'dan, and his hero power, which it doesn't show here, is like a life steal. It's like you drain 3 damage and gain health or something like that. I don't know why this doesn't show the hero powers, but that's what I read. If I'm wrong, just correct me and be like, Crendor, you're dumb. It was this thing, okay? What I read was it deals 3 damage and has lifesteal as his hero power. So yeah, Blood Reaver Gul'dan seems extremely good. He does cost 10 mana though, so I mean, hopefully you're not dead by then. Next up, we have Ultimate Infestation. Deal 5 damage, draw 5 cards, gain 5 armor, summon a 5/5 ghoul. This is, I think this is up there on the fun scale. This is really good, really good, really good. Time to duel. Imagine just playing Druid. You get what's it called? Astral Recall. You get 10 mana off the start. Then you pull this thing in the next turn. How good with that? That's like the ultimate combo. I have to make a deck based around Ultimate Infestation and Astral Recall, and then I mean turn 2. You've got 5 cards, 10 mana. You've dealt 5 damage. You've gained 5 armor, and you got a 5/5 ghoul on the board. Like, it's gotta happen. So that's up there on the fun scale. Next up, we have Uther of the Ebon Blade. Some people are probably like, Crendor, you skipped over Frostlich Jada. Excuse me, you skipped over Frostlich Jada. I already made one of these videos about a week ago, and I went over the cards that were already out at that time. But obviously, that was only about a fourth of the cards, so I'm going to be skipping over about maybe even a fifth of the cards. But I'm going to link to the video at the end. So if you want to see me go over those cards, that'll be at an annotation at the end of the video that you can click on. So don't worry. All right, if I skip over cards, just be like, oh yeah, that's in his other video that I can watch at the end of the video. Wink. Uther of the Ebon Blade. He is a battle cry. Equip a 5/3 lifesteal weapon. He has cost 9 mana to do that. And then the hero power is the 4 Horsemen, which it doesn't show here, but the 4 Horsemen is almost an Exodia-esque power, where if you can summon with his hero power the 4 Horsemen, they're like 2/2 Horsemen, get them all on the board, you win. it's over. And so, because of that, this gets a 10 out of 10. I want to get that done. I want to get something where it's like your hero power can be spammed or it costs nothing, whatever it is, and then just summon those 4 horsemen. Boom. We got ourselves a gimmick deck. The 4 horsemen. That's up there as well. So already, we got some good gimmick decks going on. I'm loving this so far. Next up, we have Valeera, the Hollow. Battlecry, gains stealth until your next turn. She also costs 9 mana. And hero power is... hold on, I'm going to scroll down here to see this. Death's Shadow. And Shadow Reflection is the token spawned by her hero power. So this is kind of a confusing one. I'm going to look this up real quick just because, hold on. Valeera hero power. Valeera the Hollow hero power. Is this it? Alright, so her hero power is, during your turn, add a shadow reflection to your hand. Okay, that's just free, it happens. Shadow Reflection is, each time you play a card, transform this into a copy of it. So you gain these Shadow Reflections, and then they transform into the cards that you play. So this seems like it has some pretty cool potential to it. So it's definitely up there on the gimmick scale. I'm liking this, but I feel like it's going to end up being more for some like meta rogue deck or something, like Valeera Stealth Reflection Rogue or something like that. I don't know. Like, it seems all right. It seems pretty cool, but it doesn't excite me as much as some of the other cards. Somebody in the comments, if you want to be like, Crendor, you should be excited about this because you could have like 50 Ragnaroses or something. Tell me that, and I'll be like, oh shit, dude, you're right. Or, oh my god, Yogg-Saron? Dude, Shadow Reflection Yogg-Sarons? You just keep playing Yogg-Sarons or something? All right, maybe I'm changing my mind now. But that's that. So I thought I'd just bring that up. Next up, we have Scourgelord Garrosh, Battlecry. He's an 8-mana Battlecry. Equip a 4/3 Shadowmourne that also damages adjacent minions. So he can deal like 4 damage to 3 minions all in a line with that Shadowmourne. And his hero power is a Whirlwind. So his hero power is deals 1 damage to everything, which is perfect for an Enrage deck. One of my favorite warrior decks to play is Enrage deck, and so to get Scourgelord Garrosh and then pop all your Enrage minions with like Wind Fury and like putting buffs on them and stuff, that's going to be really good. But aside from that, it seems just like okay. I think it's a very specific circumstance for him, but he's all right. So yeah. Moving on, we got Shadow Reaper Anduin. He is the priest card, the priest hero. Battlecry, destroy all minions with 5 or more attack, which is kind of crazy. That's like a super druid counter, man. You just play him and he destroys like an entire druid board of strong minions. So that's kind of insane. And his hero power, I believe, is he deals 2 damage, kind of like a shadow form, shadow bolt or whatever. And then every time you play a card, it resets. So that is an interesting hero power. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Let me do a quick check again. Shadow Reaper Anduin. I just want to make sure. Here it is. Void form. Deal 2 damage. After you play a card, refresh this. Yeah, so it just refreshes after you play a card. So you can keep spamming deal 2 damage with void form. So that's kind of cool. So he seems alright. I don't know about any crazy gimmicks you can do with this, but maybe something will rise up, but it seems okay. Glacial Mysteries. Put 1 of each secret from your deck into the battlefield. So what if the thing that confused me about this is like, what if you have a whole bunch of secrets? I take it just puts 3 into the battlefield or something. And what if you have like what if you already have secrets played? Does it not do anything then? It seems like it's okay. I don't know. And for 8 mana, I don't know about that. It seems just okay to me. At least fun scale, right? Like, I don't know. Maybe I can play some sort of crazy secret mage thing with this, or I don't know, man. But here we go. This is fun. Rotface. He's an 8 mana, 4/6 for the warrior legendaries. And whenever this minion survives damage, summon a random legendary minion. Shit, dude. A random legendary minion whenever he survives damage. So, it pairs up perfectly with the Scourge Lord Garrosh we were talking about earlier. Because you just keep whirlwinding Rotface, and he'll keep summoning random legendary minions. Can you imagine having multiple Rotfaces, or Rotface summoning Rotface? You have a whole board of Rotfaces, and it just keeps summoning legendaries. Oh my god. This guy's 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 on the fun scale. This is going to be a fun card to play around with. Next up, we have the Lich King. What up, Lich King? He's an 8/8/8. He's got Taunt, and at the end of your turn, add a random Death Knight card to your hand. So, this doesn't mean like, oh, I get Shadow Reaper Anduin now. There's a whole pool of just Death Knight specific cards. The Lich King Hearthstone. So let me just pull this up real quick. See if I can find it. Because there's about, I saw him earlier. There's like 8 cards. Knights of the Frozen Throne, Death Knight cards. Yeah. Is this it? That's just, oh my god, this is so confusing to find. Visual guide of all the cards from Frozen Throne. Is this it? No. Come on. I gotta find it. Just hold on. Trust me, I'm gonna find it. It's gotta be here. It's gotta be around here. Oh wait, special Death Knight cards. Here they are. So, one of them is Anti-Magic Shell. Give your minions 2/2 and can't be targeted by spells or hero powers. Costs 4 mana. One is Death Coil. Deal 5 damage to an enemy or restore 5 health to a friendly character for 2 mana. One is Destroy a minion. Your hero takes damage equal to its health for 2 mana. Frostmourne, 7 mana. Death Rattle. Summon every minion killed by this weapon, and it's a 5/3 weapon. So you can kill some stuff with Frostmourne and then resummon it onto your side, which is pretty insane. I think that's I like that. Doom Pact, destroy all minions, remove the top card from your deck for each minion destroyed. That's 5 mana. Death Grip, steal a minion from your opponent's deck and add it to your hand. That's 2 mana. Death and Decay, deal 3 damage to all enemies. That's 3 mana. And Army of the Dead for 6 mana. Remove the top 5 cards of your deck. Summon any minions removed, which is pretty cool, actually. You just get free minion summons, especially if you get anything higher than 6 mana. You're pretty much getting it for free. So yeah, that's really neat. I like that a lot. So Lich King, definitely one of my favorite gimmicky cards you could play around with here. Malfurion, the Pestilent. So Malfurion is the Druid Death Knight 1. He's a 7 mana. Choose one. Summon 2 poisonous spiders or 2 scarabs with taunt. So it's pretty much, hey, do you want poison to go on the offensive, or do you want some taunt to stay alive? So he's all right. He's nothing crazy. And I believe his hero power is either +3 attack or +3 armor. You can choose one of those if you use your hero power, which is pretty good. So yeah, nothing exciting really, but that's that. Whoa, where am I? Here we go. Now we're getting crazy. Archbishop Benedictus, Battlecry. Shuffle a copy of your opponent's deck into your deck. This one's been getting talked about a lot. Priest Legendary. You are literally shuffling a copy of your opponent's deck into your deck. This gets like a 15 out of 10 on the gimmick scale. This is insane. This goes right into my randomly robbed, randomly stolen deck where it just steals cards. And I mean, this is the mega card. You steal all their cards. That's insane. So definitely to be playing around with this one. Next up, we got Embrace Darkness. Choose an enemy minion at the start of your turn, gain control of it. So it's kind of like a mind, or what's it called? Why can't I think of what it's called? Mind control. It's a mind control, but it takes a little bit to actually get working. So the opponent can be like, uh-oh, he's going to be stealing that minion. What do I do? Do I like kill it off? Do I do something like that? So yeah, that's why it's only 6 mana though. So it's a bit of a riskier mind control for less mana, which that's pretty cool. Next up, we got Shadow Essence. Summon a 5/5 copy of a random minion in your deck. Mamma mia, spicy meatball. That's I love that. I love that. Can you imagine getting like a 5/5 copy of what's that one guy, Yasharj or whatever, that just like summons all the people back from the dead, or like Kel'Thuzad or Ragnaros? Like, oh my god, the possibilities are endless. You could just get some crazy stuff with that. So they, again, 10 out of 10. Priests are getting some great gimmicky cards, let me tell you. Moving on, we got the Blackguard, 6 mana, 3/9, Paladin. Whenever your hero is healed, deal that much damage to a random enemy minion. That's going to be annoying. Someone plays that. And then it's just... however, card clarifications, it says if your hero's already at 30 health, it cannot be, quote, healed, and thus the effect will not trigger. So if you're already at full health, he's going to be useless. So that kind of lowers his fun ability, really. So put it like a nice, 6. He's already 6 mana. We'll put his fun at like a 6, maybe even a 5 at that point. Yeah. Here we go. Bone Drake. We got a zombie dragon, folks. 6/6/5. Death Rattle. Add a random dragon to your hand, which is pretty neat. I like that. That's going to fit right into all the dragon decks. I got to make a zombie dragon deck. No doubt about that one. I'll probably... Actually, I think I may have made a zombie dragon deck. So I may just add this into the zombie dragon deck and then just start anew with some new cards. And yeah, no doubt. Making a zombie dragon deck. Got to do it. Next up, the Furnace Fire Colossus. 6/6/6, obviously. Battle Cry. Discard all weapons from your hand and gain their stats. Okay. Oh my god. This is a pure gimmick. Pure super gimmick card. You just gather up a bunch of weapons, play this dude, and you got just an insane. I'm so excited to try playing this card. I know he's going to get Shadow or Death. I know he's going to get killed right on the spot. But just think of the possibilities, all right? Imagine just drawing a handful of weapons. You rush this guy out, and you just manage to, just get a super one-turn KO with Furnace Fire Colossus. I love this guy too. This is an 11 out of 10. Put him up there. Give him higher than a 10. This is going to be great. Furnace Fire Colossus deck. Necrotic Geist. Whenever one of your other minions dies, summon a 2/2 ghoul. So when he's out on the board, he helps you summon some ghouls. That's pretty alright. Pretty cool. Maybe a ghoul deck? I don't know. Skulking Geist. 6/4/6. Battlecry. Destroy all 1-cost spells in both hands and decks. So that's an interesting card because it's only spells. At first I read it and I was like, 1-cost minion or 1-cost cards, and I was like, oh, 1-cost spells. So how many 1-cost spells are there? Which, makes me curious. Are there a whole lot of 1-cost spells in the decks of people? This has to be countering something I'm just not thinking of. Somebody tell me. This has to be a counter. Maybe if I scroll down, someone's gonna tell me. Hold on. Counter Jade Druid. Oh, it's countering Jade stuff. Okay. And then there's also Hemet Jungle Hunter. So you can destroy all cards in your deck that cost 3 or less. And then imagine a Hemet Skulking Geist deck. You're just destroying cards nonstop. Back up we go. Okay. Next up, Spectral Pillager. We got Spectral Pillager here. 6 mana, 5/5 rogue card. And that is Hold on, let me drink some water here. All right, combo. Deal damage equal to the number of cards you've played this turn. So, you play some cards, you play Spectral Pillager, and bam, you can deal some damage. So, I don't know how gimmicky it is. It's an okay card. I wouldn't consider it crazy or anything. It's probably like a 4 or 5 on the gimmick scale, the gimmick fun scale. Next up, we have Spellweaver. 6 mana, 4/4, spell damage, +2. Simple enough. Not much to say about it. Cool. Here we go. Thrall, Deathseer, 5 mana, Battlecry. Transform your minions into random ones that cost 2 more. Get ready for a super gimmicky Evolve deck because Thrall Deathseer is coming to town, folks. Here's the best thing. Hold on. If we look up Thrall Deathseer, his hero power on top of this is 2 mana, Transmute Spirit. Transform a friendly minion into a random one that costs 1 more. So his hero power also evolves. This is gonna be, this is gonna be so much fun. Put this at like a 12 out of 10. This is gonna be so much fun transforming minions nonstop. I'm telling you. I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna be playing Evolve Shaman. In fact, I think playing a deck full of low-cost minions, like I wanted to do a while back, where it's just a bunch of buffed up like low-cost minions, and then playing Thrall Deathseer and doing a super Evolve deck might be really fun to do, and you make these low-cost minions into really strong minions or something. I think that'd be fun. So we'll see. This has got a lot of potential for some fun stuff. Next up, we have Devour Mind. Copy 3 cards in your opponent's deck and add them to your hand. So, yeah, it's a more powerful thought steal, essentially. So that's cool. Webweave. We have Webweave. 5 mana Druid cards. Summon 2/1/2 poisonous spiders. I like that art style, the weird Webweave, and the Taran's just like, yes, poison. Poison string. So yeah, it gives you some poisonous spiders to kill stuff, which is pretty neat. It's actually pretty good because you're going to be able to use those spiders to just kill whatever, unless they just get taken out by a hero power or just some spells or whatever. So, I mean, I don't know. 5 mana for that seems okay. I don't know. It seems like a pretty alright card. Nothing crazy. Next up, we have Bloodworm. 5 mana, 4/4 lifesteal. It's Bloodworm. That's all I got to say about him. Bone Baron. Actually, you know what? Back to Bloodworm. You can actually buff up Bloodworm, give him Taunt or something, and he's going to be a big lifesteal boy for only 5 mana. Maybe he does have some potential. You know what? Good for you, Bloodworm. Bone Baron, 5/5. Death Rattle. Add 2/1/1 skeletons to your hand, so you can get some skeletons with the Bone Baron. Hot dog. Cobalt Scalebane. I like this card a lot. This is at the end of your turn, give another random friendly minion +3 attack. So imagine playing some Cobalt Scalebanes, playing just a bunch of cards that buff other cards that are already out on the board, like that Young Priestess, and then was it the Ironsmith? I forgot it was the Swordsmith, and he buffs up people. You just got buffs flying all over. That might be really fun to do. Maybe something gimmicky with that. So I like this guy a lot. We got Corpse Razor. Give a friendly minion Death Rattle, resummon this minion. So that's pretty neat. He's 5 mana, 3/3, but I mean, he gives another friendly minion a Death Rattle to resummon it. So that's pretty nice. I like that. Corpse Widow. Your Death Rattle cards cost 2 less. So I like that. Hunter's gotten some pretty good cards, as we're going to see as we keep going through them. A lot of Death Rattle stuff, so Death Rattle Hunter's definitely going to become a thing. If it's not already a thing, it's going to become a more prevalent thing. We have Death Revenant, 5 mana, 3/3, Battlecry. Gain 1/1 for each damaged minion. So this is interesting. He's kind of like the Amani Berserker, but instead of sitting out there and gaining attack and stuff for just damaged minions, this guy just gets it right away. Battle cry, boom. He's strong. He does cost a little more though, and that's why. Bah. So yeah, I think it's pretty fun. I forgot to say. I think he's gonna be a pretty cool card. Despicable Dreadlord. At the end of your turn, deal 1 damage to all enemy minions. So that's just a constant damage dealer to enemies, and he's 5 mana, 4/5. That's a pretty good card. I like this guy. He might even be good, just in a lot of Warlock decks in general. Like I might put him in a discard deck just because he's gonna keep clearing the board. He might keep he can kill stuff. He's gonna weaken stuff. The only problem is if they got enrage cards or things that actually get better with taking damage, but or like priests where they take damage and they can heal up and draw cards, stuff like that. But aside from that, he seems pretty fun. Next up, we have Skullmancer, 5 mana, 2/2, Death Rattle. If it is your opponent's turn, summon an 8/8 skeleton on the Death Rattle. So if this card dies on your opponent's turn, you summon an 8/8 skeleton. Interesting. This is a really interesting card. I mean, I think this is supposed to counter Doomlord. So like they play Doomlord and he wipes the board, and then it's like, oh, you wiped my board, but haha, I have an 8/8 skeleton now. So this has some pretty cool potential. I like this. This is an unusual type of card, so I'm down to experiment with it. Next up, we have the Sunborn Valkyr. 5 mana, 5/4, Battlecry, give adjacent minions +2 health. Yeah. I mean, cool. It's another one that's like, alright, well, it gives cards health. Neat. Tomb Lurker, 5 mana, 5/3, Battlecry, add a random Death Rattle minion that died this game to your hand. I like this card. This is a pretty cool card where if you're playing a Death Rattle deck, or just even if you're not playing a Death Rattle deck, say you want to get a certain Death Rattle card back, and you know that's the only card you want, I mean, boom, there you go. You're able to get it back. So I mean, even if you're not playing a Death Rattle deck, but you have one specific Death Rattle card you want to get back into the game, you just play Tomb Lurker, and it's like, boop, I got him back from the dead. There you go. And I know I'm going to get that specific card because it's the only Death Rattle card I have. So I like this. I like Tomb Lurker. He's got some good potential here. So many cards, man. We're rolling through these. All right. Venomancer. 5 mana, 2/5, poisonous. So this is pretty good. It's kind of like a weaker, that legendary spider with poisonous. She's like a 2/8. So Venomancer is kind of like a weaker version of that. That's pretty good. That was a pretty good card. I don't know about the fun levels, but I mean, it's a good card. Next up is Avalanche. Avalanche, freeze a minion and deal 3 damage to adjacent ones. So that's an interesting card. So you're going to freeze one minion and then deal 3 damage to the adjacent minions. So that minion's not going to take any damage, but it'll get frozen. So I know Shaman are getting a lot of freeze synergy type things. That's going to be pretty cool. Literally. Arphis. Here we go. Arphis, the legendary ghost dog. Death Rattle. Add a random Death Knight card to your hand. 4 mana, 2/2 beast. So much like Arphis gives you a Death Knight card. And he's a ghost pup. How can you go wrong? I have to make an Arphis deck. There's no doubt about it. You got to make an Arphis deck. See if you can buff Arphis up. Try to win the game with Arphis. I have to do it. Arrogant Crusader. This guy's super arrogant. He only costs 4 mana. He's 5/2. Death Rattle. If it's your opponent's turn, summon a 2/2 ghoul. So if he dies on your opponent's turn, he also gets a 2/2 ghoul. This guy seems really good. He only costs 4 mana. He's 5/2, and when he dies on your opponent's turn, you get a 2/2 ghoul for it. So that seems like a good card. Yeah. I don't know about gimmick wise. Maybe if I'm making some sort of ghoul deck, but aside from that, Next up, we have the Death Axe Punisher. 4 mana, 3/3. Battle Cry. Give a random lifesteal minion in your hand 2/2. So if you're playing a lifesteal deck, you can play this guy, and boom, you got a +2/2 on it. And he's not a terrible card either. 4 mana, you get 3/3 out of him. So you can at least do some damage out there. Next up, Exploding Bloatbat. The Bloatbat. 4 mana, 2/1. Death Rattle. Deal 2 damage to all enemy minions. All enemy minions. Which works really well with the Death Rattle Hunter because you can keep proccing that Death Rattle, deal 2 damage to all enemy minions thing. And say you do like a couple of cards to proc it twice, and then you kill the bat. That's 6 damage in 1 turn, just from the Bloatbat. So it's got some pretty cool potential. I like that. I'll give him a pretty high score on the fun scale. Next, we have the Grave Shambler. Whenever your weapon is destroyed, gain 1/1, and he's a 4/4/4. So obviously going to work well with things like Pirate. Or actually, it probably would work well with Pirate Warrior. What wouldn't? Just Warrior decks, Rogue. Anything that uses weapons essentially. Elementals. So I mean, really good Shaman card. You can synergize with the Elementals, plus get some buffs from weapons getting killed, and so what? Next up, we have the Grim Necromancer. 4 mana, 2/4. Battlecry. Summon 2/1/1 skeletons. So, more skeletons. I'm sure there's like the ability to make skeleton decks now. I've seen a few skeleton cards. The Keening Banshee. 4 mana, 5/5. Whenever you play a card, remove the top 3 cards of your deck. So, this is going to be interesting. But there is a card where you can give this to someone else. And we'll get to that. So this does have some fun potential, but not in the way you might think. But I'll bring it back up when we get there. Next up, we got Lillian Voss, Legendary Rogue. 4/4/5. Battlecry. Replace spells in your hand with random spells from your opponent's class. I like that a lot. Imagine playing a mage. You play Lillian Voss. Imagine getting like 3 Pyroblasts or something. That'd be crazy. Even fireballs, like a couple of fireballs, some pyroblasts, you get polymorph. Imagine playing a priest and you get a bunch of like spell steal or like minion steal. Like, this has a whole bunch of fun potential. Put it up there, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Meat Wagon. Here's another good one. Death Rattle. He's a 4/1/4. Summon a minion from your deck with less attack than this minion. So if you can buff up the Meat Wagon's attack, you can summon a really strong minion probably for only 4 mana. So some good fun potential with the Meat Wagon. I like this guy. I like the Meat Wagon. Night Howler. 4 mana, 3/4. Whenever this minion takes damage, gain 2 attack. So this works well with that Garrosh card, where you can just keep whirlwinding and he's just like bop. So it's a nicer enrage type card. And even Priest, you could throw this in a Priest deck and buff up his health, and then he'll keep gaining attack. And if you keep upping his health and healing him, he's gonna get pretty strong. So he's got some pretty good potential. You could make a pretty big Night Howler. I might try to do something like that. I'm gonna drink some water. Next up, we have Phantom Freebooter. Battlecry. Gains stats equal to your weapons. That's an interesting card. So if you already have something like Arcanite Reaper, which is what, 5/2? I think it's 5/2. You'll be up to an 8/5 for 4 mana. So that's kind of insane. Phantom Freebooter, really good with Warrior, I imagine. Probably Paladin as well. Paladin gets pretty strong. You get like the 4/2. So that's already a 7/5 with Paladin. So Phantom Freebooter, really nice with weapon decks. Pretty good potential with that card. Oh my god, can you imagine Paladin buffing her up in your hand? So she's already up to like, say you get a couple of like early Paladin buff things going on. Say she's up like a 6/6. And then you play your 4/2 weapon thing. I forget what it's called. and then you play on like turn 5 or something, and you get like a 10. It's like a 10-5 or like a 10-7 for like 4 mana. That's insane. It's a pretty good fun potential on the Phantom Freebooter. Mamma mia. The Rattling Rascal is the next one. Battlecry, summon a 5/5 skeleton. Death Rattle, summon one for your opponent. So he's a 4 mana 2/2, and he's like, whoa, but he gives you a skeleton, but when he dies, your opponent gets a skeleton. So that's interesting. But imagine if you can play the Rattling Rascal and then somehow give that to your opponent, and that way you get another skeleton by killing it. That could be some fun stuff. So I like the Rattling Rascal. He's got some potential to get stolen and then kill it and give yourself 2 5/5 skeletons. Interesting. Runeforge Haunter. During your turn, your weapon doesn't lose durability. Oh, and that's a rogue card, 4/5/3. Interesting. That's an interesting card. That actually works well with that one crazy rogue weapon deck I was trying to make, and then you throw him in and you don't lose durability on it, so you have a super weapon. That could be really fun. Oh god, my voice is starting to die. I've been just nonstop talking through this whole thing. This is taking a while. Don't worry, I'm gonna finish. Might have to speed up a bit though. Serenite Chain Gang. 4/2/3 taunt battlecry, summon a copy of this minion. So that's interesting. So you get 2 of these just by playing him once with a battlecry. And then if you have like Bronzebeard or Bronzebeard, you can get a whole group of Serenite Chain Gangs going. That could be a fun card to play around with. Strong Shell Scavenger. 4/2/3 druid card. Give your taunt minions 2/2. Nice little taunt synergy going there with the druid stuff. But imagine again, Bronzebeard, you get a lot of buffs if you have something like that where it triggers all your battle cries multiple times. Wowee. So he's got some potential as well. Wicked Skeleton, 4 mana, 1/1, battlecry, gain 1/1 for each minion that died this turn. So this is, again, if you can manage to kill a bunch of minions off in one turn, and it's all minions, right? It's not just your minions, that's all minions. So if you can wipe a board or something, imagine a full board of like 7 minions. So what would that be? That'd be if you wiped an entire board with like as a warlock or something, or even did a brawl as a warrior, dude, you get a really strong Wicked Skeleton. This has a lot of fun potential. I like this guy. I like Wicked Skeleton. This could be really fun. I put this high up on the Gimmick scale fun deck. Levels of fun. Oh shit. There's so many cards. I have to like swap this thing over to my other monitor. So I have to like drag this over, and then I go bloop, and then I go bloop. There we go. I did it. So yeah, I like Wicked Skeleton a lot. I looked at that and glanced over it and was like, okay. But now that I read that again, I was like, dude, that could be really fun to play with. That's a nice like top deck card to hold on to. Late game. Like, oh shit, top decked him. Let's wipe the board or something. And then play the Wicked Skeleton. Okay. Frozen Clone. 3 mana, secret. After your opponent plays a minion, add 2 copies of it to your hand. So it's essentially a mirror entity, but you're copying it twice and giving it and putting the minion into your hands. That's okay. I don't know. It seems just all right. Because you still have to play the card that you've copied, so I don't know. Depends on how good the card is, so it's got some potential, but Next up, we got Nash. 3 mana. Give your hero 3 attack this turn, gain 3 armor. So for 3 mana, you get 3 attack, and you get 3 armor. So, cool. Next up, Simulacrum. 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 Copy the lowest cost minion in your hand. That's a cool card. I like that a lot. So if you got a really low cost minion, you can just copy it and boom. You got a copy of it. That's probably got some fun potential. I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but I'm sure there's something crazy you could do with that. Here's the one I was talking about earlier with all those cards. I was like, just wait for this card. Treachery, Warlocks. Choose a friendly minion and give it to your opponent. So as a Warlock with this card, you can give a friendly minion to your opponent. Just think of the this is a prime pasta la pizza 15 out of 10, man. Imagine playing some of the cards I was reading over and just giving them to your opponent. It works well with the Rattling Rascal, the Keening Banshee, giving your opponent a Keening Banshee, and then every time they try to play a card, they just lose the top 3 cards of their deck. Like, dude, this card is gonna be so much fun to play with. I'm really excited for it. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. So Treachery right up there. That's a prime Gimmick deck card. Next up, we have Unwilling Sacrifice. Unwilling Sacrifice. Choose a friendly minion, destroy it, and a random enemy minion. So you sacrifice one of your minions. It could be a shitty minion, so it's like whatever, and then you destroy an enemy minion, which could be a good one. So it's all right. It's pretty interesting. Acolyte of Agony, 3/3/3, priest card, lifesteal. There you go. Oh god, I'm starting to my nose is starting to like drip now. Hold on. I'm falling apart, man. It's because I'm just talking nonstop. My nose is just running now. Crypt Lord, 3 mana, 1/6. Taunt. After you summon a minion, gain 1 health. Oh shit, this card's kind of crazy too. So I mean, he's only got 1 attack, but he's a wall, man. Crypt Lord is a wall. And you keep summoning minions, he's gonna just keep getting stronger. Wowee. So he's got, oh man. You make a whole deck around just buffing up Crypt Lord, then he'll just die to like Assassinate or something. So he's just, he's alright. It's one of those things where it sounds really fun, and then you play a game and you're like, oh yeah, he's just okay. But he's only 3 mana, so nice early taunt to help you as a druid get to the big cards. Might be good for that druid quest from last expansion. Help you get to that druid quest and play all the big minions. I like that for that deck. Death Speaker. Death Speaker, 3/2/4. Give a friendly minion immune this turn. Now here we go. This is gonna be crazy. Playing a thing like Death Speaker, you give a friendly minion immunity. Shit, dude. It's only 3 mana. That's pretty cheap to give another minion immunity. You can play this late game. Kill off some big stuff. Yeah, I like this a lot. I'm sure you could use this even on a poison minion, and then you can kill off something with that poison minion, and then keep it alive, and then kill another thing. So it's a way to use poison price, or poison twice, not poison price. Yeah. Drakari Defender. 3 mana, 2/8, taunt, overload. So it's an overload card. Taunt. Cool. Drakari Enchanter. Your end of turn effects trigger twice. Oh, damn. Now this is going to be a crazy card. All the end of turn effects trigger twice? We might have to reach into the backlog, the backlog of cards in wild mode to see some good synergy with this one. Hold on, someone in the comments probably already says something. Let's see. Ysera, Hogger, Baron Geddon, the Lich King, Cobalt Scalebane. Oh my god, there's so many cards this works with. Kel'Thuzad, Emperor Tharazon. I didn't even think of that. Emperor Tharazon, Ragnaros. Dude, this card's insane. Put this on a 15 out of 10 as well. This is crazy. This is crazy, man. Happy Ghoul. It's the Happy Ghoul. Oh shit, I gotta catch up there. It's the Happy Ghoul. Uh, 333. Cost 0 if your hero was healed this turn. Cost 0 if your hero was healed this turn. That's pretty cool. That works with things like Priest really well. So it's just a free 333 out there. So I probably could make a ghoul deck, actually. And then that one dude summons ghouls on the Paladins. Maybe even Paladin be a ghoul deck. It's kind of ironic, the Paladin playing a ghoul deck. Because they're supposed to kill all the ghouls, blah, blah, blah. Next up, we got Howl Fiend. Whenever this minion takes damage, discard a random card. So I'm really happy about this. I'm glad they're adding in more discard cards. I thought they needed more of them, and they're adding in more of them, so that makes me happy. Yeah, it's pretty all right. Let's go ahead and check out Hildenir Frostrider. Battle cry, freeze your other minions. 3/4/4. All right. I'm sure if you're playing some sort of freeze thing, it might be good. But otherwise, it just depends on the deck. It's okay. Mindbreaker, 3/2/5. Hero powers are disabled. Shit, dude. Mindbreaker's got some potential to be pretty fun. I like that. Just disabling hero powers. Stitched Tracker. 3/2/2 Hunter card. Battlecry. Discover a copy of a minion in your deck. That's a really cool card. Just discovering a copy of a minion in your deck, so you just hopefully get a good minion to copy. I like that. That's a cool Hunter card. Valkyr Soulclaimer, 3/1/4. Whenever this minion survives damage, summon a 2/2 ghoul. So there we go. We can have a warrior ghoul deck. The Vry Ghoul, 3/3/1. If it's your opponent's turn, summon a 2/2 ghoul if he dies. So again, more ghouls. Ghoul deck is possible. Who'd have thought? And then you can throw in things like the Unstable Ghoul and old ghoul cards. So, I mean, you know what? Ghoul deck, I think, is actually a possibility here. Dark Conviction. Hold on, I slipped down a bit here. Oh, shit, I'm on the next page. What am I doing? Blah. There we are. Dark Conviction. Set a minion's attack and health to 3. All right. So there's already a lot of Paladin cards that can do that, but this is just a spell that can do it. So cool. Desperate Stain, 2 mana. Give a minion resurrect or a death rattle. Return this to life with 1 health. So it's like a secret, but instead of a secret, it's a spell. A death rattle spell gets put on a thing. Cool. Drain Soul. 2 mana, lifesteal, deal 2 damage to a minion, and you get 2 health back. So cool. A lot of these are just, the low mana spell cards or whatever. Forge of Souls, draw 2 weapons from your deck. That's really nice, just a way to get weapons as a warrior. That's actually really nice for if I wanted to play that one dude where you discard all your weapons and gain a bunch of stats. This is perfect for that. So I like this card just for that reason. Ice Fishing. Draw 2 Murlocs from your deck. So a fun way to get more Murlocs, or specifically draw Murlocs as a Shaman, if you want to play Shaman Murloc. Roll the Bones. Draw a card. If it has Death Rattle, cast this again. Oh, man, you can just keep looping that over and over and keep drawing Death Rattle cards if you're playing Death Rattle Rogue. That's kind of crazy. Toxic Arrow. This is an interesting card. Deal 2 damage to a minion. If it survives, give it poisonous. So this is a way to either give one of your stronger minions poisonous, or to kill a minion on the enemy side that has like 2 health or less. So it just depends what you want to do. It's got a little flexibility to it. Do you want to kill something, or do you want to give your minion the ability to kill stuff? I like that. That's a nice little dual-edged card. The Burlock. The Burlock. Battlecry, freeze an enemy. So you got a Murloc that can freeze people now. Cool. Druid of the Swarm. 2/1/2. Transform into a 1/2 with poisonous, or a 1/5 with taunt. So it's just another Druid card where it's an option of like, hey, Do you want poison or do you want taunt? Or you can get that one card that's so legendary that combines both your choose ones. Then you got a poisonous taunt card that's going to be really annoying to deal with. Fallen Sun Cleric here. Give a friendly minion 1/1. So just a 2 mana 2/1 that gives a friendly minion 1/1. Cool. Gnome Feratu. Remove the top card of your opponent's deck. Interesting. That's a 2/2/3, and you can remove the top card of your opponent's deck. So that's an interesting. That's an interesting card. Yeah, good for just card removal, I guess. Neat. Ice Walker. Your hero power also freezes the target. Ooh. That's a fun card for mages. Or if you can steal that, it's a fun card for other people. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. Shadow Ascendant. At the end of your turn, give another random friendly minion 1/1. So another way to buff minions as a priest. Tainted Zealot. Divine Shield spell damage +1. So it's a nice little spell damage buff for paladins, essentially, that are playing Divine Shield things. But I mean, it's a neutral card, so you can play it with whatever. And it's a nice way to buff your spells and not have it die right away because it has Divine Shield. So if you're playing a mage or something, you're like, hey, whatever. The Tuskar Fisherman. I love the art on this card. 2/2/3. Give a friendly minion spell damage +1. All right. That's pretty nice. A 2/3, 2 mana, and then you get +1 spell damage. That's actually a really nice card. Breath of Syndragosa. Deal 2 damage to a random enemy minion and freeze it for only 1 mana. Interesting. Yeah, that's actually pretty nice. Doomerang. Throw your weapon at a minion. It deals its damage, then returns to your hand. Whoa. So you have to have a weapon already, and then that throws that weapon at a minion. It deals its damage and then returns to your hand. That's really cool. That's a cool card. The Doomerang. I would make a deck just revolving around Doomerangs. It's probably not going to win much, but screw it, man. Doomerangs. Next up, we have Play Dead. It's a little pup. Trigger a friendly minion's death rattle. So, much like I was talking about earlier, where hunters want to trigger death rattles a lot, like that one bat that deals 2 damage to all enemy minions, Play Dead's perfect for that. You just trigger a minion's death rattle. And then, oh man, 2 Play Deads, and then like a minion that triggers death rattles. And then the bat, that's like 8 damage to enemy minions. You can do some crazy damage with that bat and all those other cards we were just talking about. Archerous Veteran. Battlecry, give a friendly minion 1 attack. 1/2/1. Dead Scale Knight. It's a Murloc with lifesteal. He's a 1/1/1. Look at him, his little Knight Murloc. Righteous Protector. Taunt Divine Shield. 1/1/1. That's annoying because paladins are annoying, especially Divine Shield. The Wretched Tiller. 1/1/1. Whenever this minion attacks, deal 2 damage to the enemy hero. Ooh. So if you can help him get buffed up, like in the low-cost minion deck I wanted to do, that's a free 2 damage to the enemy hero every time he attacks. So if you can get him up to even in a paladin deck or something, up to like a 5/5, and then you keep hitting him, like boom, that's 7 damage. Or if you can't even hit the enemy hero, it's like, oh, you got a wall of taunt? Too bad. I'm busting through it. Bam. 2 damage. Bam. 2 damage. You just slowly wear him down. So I like Wretched Tiller is a really, really good card. I like that for such a low cost card. And then that's it. The penguin was in my other video, and this was just my little page at the end. So thank you for watching. That was fun. I'm pumped for this expansion, man. If you couldn't tell, there's so many gimmicky, fun little cards. I'm sure that makes a lot of people be like, but I love it because that's the main reason I play Hearthstone. So if you want to see all the cards that I missed, bam, right now, annotation things are popping up. You can go watch that. You can also watch my new machinima I just made, Orc vs. Wild's back after like 3 years. Um, aside from that, new fishing with Crendor coming out, and I'm going to be doing a pack opening the day of the expansion. So I'm going to be live streaming that over on twitch.tv/Crendor. It's going to be uploaded to YouTube. If you're not able to catch it live, don't worry. It'll be on YouTube, and then get ready because I'm going to be making some gimmick decks. So, should be fun. Okay. See you.